If your taco meat has ever come out dry and just plain boring, I promise it's not your cooking, it's the method. There are just a few simple changes and you'll be feeling like a top chef on Taco Tuesday. So we've all been in this situation where dinner needs to be on the table quickly, there's a ton of distraction happening, and the recipe you're using still doesn't deliver the flavor you were hoping for. So here's the deal. Most recipes will have you dump the spices onto raw meat and call it done. That's one of the problems. I'll show you a few simple changes that will make your taco meat taste incredible and take zero extra time. The good news is most of these spices you probably already have on hand. So here's a quick tip. Use a large skillet. If beef is crowded in the pan, it traps steam and you lose the browning effect. And browning is where a lot of the flavor actually comes from. Preheat your pan over medium-high heat. You can test how hot the pan is by doing a water droplet test or by hovering your hand a few inches above the surface. If you feel real heat radiating up, it's ready. If you're using 80-20 ground beef, you don't need to add any oil to the pan. For 80-15 ground beef, you'll need a tablespoon of oil. So here's another tip to achieving a deep brown sear. Add the meat, break it into large chunks, and then let it sit undisturbed for 2 minutes. If you're new to searing and you're using a cast iron or stainless steel, it will feel like you're burning the meat, but don't worry, what you're seeing is what's going to add amazing flavor. After the 2 minutes, continue breaking it up and cooking for another 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so here's the tip that really helps to pack in the flavor. Push the cooked meat to one side and tilt your pan slightly so that the fat pools on the other side. Add the spices to the fat. Cook and stir for about 30 seconds until the spices are fragrant and a shade darker. This is blooming the spices, and it's what brings the spices to life. Much of the flavor compounds in spices are released with heat and fat, so this step makes a huge impact. Next, toast the tomato paste for about 1 minute. Tomato paste can taste raw and a little sharp straight from the tube, so toasting it for a minute caramelizes its natural sugars and deepens the flavor, so it adds richness instead of just acidity. Now add in the diced green chilies and the broth. Let it simmer for a few minutes, making sure to scrape up all the gorgeous brown bits on the bottom of the pan. Diced green chilies will add a little tang, texture, and another layer of flavor that helps the meat to taste well-rounded. If you're not a fan of green chilies, salsa works as a substitute, but make sure to check out the recipe posts because I have all kinds of fun variations. After adding the broth, if there's still some browned bits on the bottom, don't hesitate to add a bit more water to make sure you get all the flavor incorporated into the meat. If you accidentally add a little too much water, it's okay. Just simmer until some of the water has evaporated and the meat looks glossy. Okay, the final step. Once the meat is done, taste test before adding in the acid, such as lime juice or apple cider vinegar. This is the only way to know if the meat needs the acid or extra salt. More often than not, you'll find adding the lime juice really helps to brighten the taco filling and makes the perfect finishing touch. So one last thing, give it a minute off heat before you serve it. The sauce actually thickens up just a bit more and clings even better once it's not bubbling anymore. For more recipes like this and for weekly inspiration, make sure to head on over to thefedupfoodie.com and sign up for my newsletter where I share recipes and tips in helping to make cooking from scratch approachable.